Welcome back, guys, to episode 15 of Hosts at Home. Been a short while. This one's very special for us because we started out trying to record these podcasts, didn't we? And then after the first one, we waved the towel in straight away, didn't we? We weren't.
It took us about 7 hours.
The
to
whole
set up our
setup, too much faff. We're too busy to dedicate too much time to it. Also, Laura had to do her makeup and I had to get changed. The previous 14 episodes of these, you may or may not know that we literally do this in our dressing gowns on our bedroom floor.
Ed wouldn't let us do it like that today.
Laura wanted to do it like that.
I did, it's who we are.
We got the cameras. So whilst it's still a very familiar setting for us, it's in our kitchen, this is Hosts at Home. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about some stuff that we've been up to over the past 4 weeks. We're aiming to do this monthly. We've onboarded a new VA and Laura's done a fantastic job of training her up, so we'll be talking about that.
We've got some new management stock. Again, as always, I feel like that's a rolling topic now, which is great for our business, isn't it?
Yeah, finally, our big, massive website reveal and launch has gone live. And with that, we've bolted on some additional services that we do provide, but we've not shouted about.
I will put the link on the bio for that as well, to our podcast. We've got tenants viewing, so one of our projects is finally complete and we've started viewing, so we're really excited about that and getting the ball rolling in the next stages for that.
Yep, our commercial to residential scheme, 8-bed, conversion, HMO, all en suite, all the shiny, sexy words, has long commenced and is got off to a flying start, so we'll talk on that.
And then we've got some new properties, some updates on what's going on with some properties, and then just where we're at with some of our projects in general.
Yeah, and then finally we'll roll off with our best of the week, pest of the week, and our topic of the week, which is not objection handling, but handling issues as and when they arise, which is very frequently.
So welcome back. Ed's smirking at me, so I'm cool. So the first topic of this week is training our VA. So I think when we spoke to you in our last podcast, we were currently recruiting with Free Geek. We had some interviews set up, I think the following day after we recorded our podcast. But since then, we've done our interviews and we've onboarded. So it's been completely new for me and you, hasn't it? Like working out how we're going to do that, how we're going to streamline the onboarding. So Ed's been really busy, to be fair, and you've been smashing out Google Classrooms, haven't you? Which is a program which has been amazing for us, where you can kind of screen record what you're doing and talk at the same time. So it's basically like recording training, and then we've just folded that into like a massive document, haven't we? And broken down all the systems we use, all the processes we use, how we use them, why we use them. Ed's done things like company overview, so about both of us, what we're doing, what we're trying to do. So it's like a big Bible. And it's taken him a long time, but it's great because it's something we can use forever now, isn't it, really? And that's what we said, we wanted it to be really, really good because we can constantly use that now.
Yeah, it's something that the business needs, isn't it? Process, procedure, just a manual. So if anything was to happen to, at that point, me, but now us, hopefully someone can pick up the business, jump onto that Google Classroom and just see day to day how we run our operations in detail and also a holistic overview. Which you are right, has took me a lot of time. There's still a long way to go. It's an ever-evolving Google Classroom document which we want to keep adding to. But you've took it to the next level. You're the one who've came up with a
So we've done that, and then I quite like doing this. I'm a bit of an organised freak, so then I did like a month plan of what we're going to do with the VA, how we're going to train them. She's called Michelle, by the way.
Yeah, I don't like it when we just say the VA or VAs.
Yeah, she's lovely. She's from the Philippines, and I've been pretty much having teams. She's working, so she works for us 7 a.m. to 3 p.m, which I think for her is 2 till 10. Is that right? I'm sure that's her working hours over there.
I'm not going to bet myself out.
So I didn't want to, when she first started, obviously, I don't think we'd really thought it through. It's like we'll get her on Google Classrooms and stuff, like learning some bits, which has been great when you're onboarding new staff to be able to leave them to do something, because sometimes it can be hard finding stuff. But I was getting up super early, wasn't I, to get on calls with her, go through stuff, set her off, make sure she's going. But it's been really nice. We've been having our team meetings every week, so it's nice that we're obviously expanding and there's a few of us now and communication's really vital. It always has been, but we're stepping it fully up a notch now, aren't we?
Yeah, we're starting to become a small company, very small company, but we've got procedures in place, routine weekly meetings, which I like and I've always aspired to want that, and now Laura's put that all into place is amazing. And I think just to touch on perhaps some tips, guys, for anyone looking to then grow into a team similar to ours, I think something that's incredibly important is the way in which you onboard someone, anyone, a member of a team, is then also reflective in terms of the output and what you get from that person. So we've tried to make it really, whilst I say thorough, legitimate and business-like, but still instill our funny, quirky,
passionate,
small
exciting
characters. We wanted to deliver a quality onboarding to.
So Michelle's on board with us, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
we want her
to ensure that we
feel
get a
how
lot,
we
but then
feel
she's
and-
also brought up to speed quite quickly. And I think it's only fair if we have certain expectations that we like promise on what expectations might be promised from us. Does that make sense? But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I think the quality of the onboarding, it's only fair that we give them a great onboarding opportunity. We give them all the information. We give them and dedicate time to their learning. Make sure that they're comfortable working with us, for us, within the company, for the company, etc. And that's a motto in which we really will continue to do so as we continue to grow, isn't it? Which is cool.
It's hard though, isn't it? I think when you're a normal company, you'd probably have an office space where you come in, you'd have like physical one-to-one training. So it's been tough for me not having someone there just to be able to like, oh, look at this. Oh, hang on, can you just watch what I'm doing, or have a quick conversation of what are you struggling with something?
Well, I've only worked for an enterprise where there's like a routine plan that's been refined over years, if not decades. So yeah. It's cool that we're putting them in place from the very first steps.
Exciting. Hard work now, but that hard work will pay off, and hopefully we'll have a really good, well-trained member of the team who can alleviate some pressure from us.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
New management.
Mad properties. Month. Yes.
Mad month.
Five big, large properties. We're in a fortunate position to say pretty much every episode we've onboarded new management properties, which is great. We've put in the legwork, the marketing, the brand, the teams in place to be able to give us that elasticity to grow into, and we're now doing that. So yeah, 5 new huge management stock properties. All what we've really identified as our bag now is pretty much minimum 5 bed. These properties, a few of them are all en suite, which is fantastic. In fact, are they all? No, they're not all en suite. 4 of them are all en suite, and then
new area.
New area as
and
well.
We've got a new area
into Nottingham.
which is really exciting for us because
it's exciting. It's good for you.
Can we say the good news? I don't want to jinx it. So we went to see it Friday, didn't we? Which was 4 days ago from today, and we were like, "Yep, like it." We're going tomorrow just to put. So when we go, we do a big list of everything we need. We do a big walk around, look at things like garden, Wi-Fi, make a huge list. We've done some videos on it, so you can have a look if you follow us on Instagram. But we're going back tomorrow basically to sort it all and put everything out and put everything into place. Like you noted, and then today we've had a booking come through from tomorrow for 2 months.
Yeah, at a good rate as well.
So we're going to be speedily working tomorrow. And
that's how we roll.
What we say, like, as soon as we took it on Friday, by Saturday it had already gone up onto all the platforms. It had got dummy photos on, but we made a note of that saying, look, we're waiting for professional photos back. Because if you are, I want to say a normal person, and you take time, and I always argue this with you because I'm like that. I would take my time and be like, oh, I really want to write a description, I really want to check the photos, whereas you're like, you don't have time to do that.
No, we do, but not initially.
You can't do it,
You get this thing up, market it as well as you can. It's like the 70-30 rule. As long as it's up, then we've got some exposure. And then once we've got professional photos back, because we don't even have them,
we'll re-review the listing.
They're being done tomorrow. We'll review the listing, but yeah, fantastic. And that is how we roll, really. That's not the first time it's happened. It's quite frequent that we get long-term bookings in prior to us actually going live, really. It's a testament to our marketing. Yep.
Keep an eye on our Instagram stories. That was a stressful day, won't it, for us? You'll probably have seen that. This will probably come out after it. New website's finally up, so that's been a massive project we've been working on as well, isn't it? Just tweaking, like hours of being perfectionists, isn't it? Like looking through it, checking links, checking if it gives you the right quote, where it takes you, if the contact us works.
Yeah, it's quite an engaging and I wouldn't say intuitive, it's an engaging website where there's live calculators on there, there's sliding graphics, all sorts of slightly complex, more complicated tools, I suppose. But Rich, who's designed it for us, has been fantastic. If anything, it's been one of those jobs that have just been in the background and quite passive. We've operated fine with our website that I created in my bedroom 4 years ago, up until now. So it was very much needed. But it was just, we were often taking long to review the pages, and it was always back and forth.
Yeah.
So it took a while, but it is fantastic and it's quite complex. And on that, we do offer a lot of in-house services to our clients to go above and beyond for them, depending on their situation. Most of them want a very passive investment. So we end up picking up the setup, stage and the photography, as well as obviously just the marketing and listing and the ongoing running of things. But we've also built up really established relationships with furniture providers, and we get fantastic rates, and we want to also pass those rates down onto our clients. So we've brought that in-house, and we now offer not just setup and staging, but just the sale of furniture packs, customizable furniture packs.
Now we're pros at it. We do it all the time. We do it with our eyes closed. Might as well offer it, mightn't we?
Yeah, good quality furniture. So
go and look at the website.
Have a look at the website.
You can do a quote on there. You can type in what you're looking for. It'll give you a quote.
I love that.
There's an investors page. If you're interested in working with us and onboarding as an investor, you can go and look at what you could get with how much money you've got to play with. So go and have a look at all of that. Use all the functions.
Yeah.
If you notice any problems, please tell us. But I feel like I have clicked and checked on absolutely everything. It's streamlined now.
Don't say that. Yeah, but the calculator is really cool, guys, because from my experience, when I've looked at getting furniture packs in, it's like gold or platinum pack, and it's just like a set amount of furniture items. Or you need to ring up to get a quote if you want a more individualised bespoke quote. So we know what our price is per item. The more you get, the bigger the discount as well. But you just put in there what you want, whether it's like 4 doubles and 3 singles, mattresses included, and then 2 wardrobes, 4 bedside tables, whatever it is, you put in there, plug and play what you want, it spits out a quote, it comes fully assembled, good quality furniture, free delivery to your doorstep. It's actually a great offering at a fantastic price. And it's the furniture that we use for all our properties, so we highly recommend it. So that is available to anyone on our website if they want.
Proud of you for plugging.
Boom.
So we'll roll through our developments next and give you a quick overview of what's going on with those, and then we'll delve into some of our essay stuff, so our best, and topic of the week. So, 4 properties at the moment. Coronation has finally completed. We've had tenants, we've had viewings, and we're now offering spaces, aren't we, for long-term guests. Tenants now, aren't they?
They're tenants, mate, yeah.
They're not guests.
Yeah, they're tenants. Now we've had viewings there.
It was a really nice day, wasn't it, as well? Because I think sometimes you get lost in how hard you work and what you're doing. So it was quite... I suppose for me, like when I worked in my old job, if I went and did like a sales event or something with one of my products, you're used to working with it and all the time. And when you actually take it to other people, it's really nice to get positive feedback. And that's what I felt like. We were doing viewings, people walking into the rooms going, wow, it's amazing, this is really big, this is going to be my room. And then I was like, you don't have to fight over this room. Like, they're all like this. If not, they get bigger as you go up. So
we've never seen anything like this before.
Ed was pretending to be a gardener outside.
You're
being a right weirdo.
I get so weird. I'm like,
do it.
What do I present myself as? The landlord, the owner, the management agent?
Creepily walked around the outside of the front of the
No,
house.
I'd like to let
I
you
was
just
like,
handle it.
sorry, that person does actually know who we are. We're not just being burgled.
Stop baiting me out.
But that was really nice. Loads of interest. We banged out viewings in a day, as we do, don't we?
Yeah, look to be pulling in a much higher return than we first thought as well. So 4.3k, guys, per property. Now, that's insane. That's more than what I was getting paid salary in my previous job not too long ago, just off one property. Touch wood, relatively passive recurring income, and then we've got the uplift of the property from the reservation, which we're now refinancing on as well. Got indicative terms. I'm not gonna say anything too early, but things are looking very good for us right now. Very good. So that's great.
So just touching on the other 3, we've got one that's taken ages, one that's fallen through, and one that's just been accepted, a new one, which we won't have spoken about yet.
Each of these properties are going to have their own separate video. We've got one that is taking an age. it's the most straightforward, simplest purchase of the lot of them that we've done. But for one reason or another, it's been setback, and then because of one setback, you know, we're at the point now, guys, where the latest setback was the searches that we previously instructed have gone over the 6-month timeline, so we've had to instruct new searches, and it's just taken an age on a very simple purchase, which is direct to vendor and someone we know and like as well. So a bit stressful. I'll have to go into details on a different video on that because there's loads. The commercial conversion is flying, and this is we've took all the learning from all the bull crap that we've had to go through.
Yeah.
And made necessary changes. Touch wood. Yeah, so far. But this seems to be flying. We've got a really good builder on great terms, fantastic working relationship, working quickly, and just the way we set it up is right, and the project is nuts as well. Nuts projects. I can't wait to start telling people about that one. What was the other one? We had an offer accepted recently.
Yeah, new one. So we keep sending you back other places, but that's going to be on one of our reels as well. So if you want to hear about that in more depth and how we kind of got that, Ed's done a video on the art of negotiation because it was a bit of a to and fro, which we're getting good at now, though, aren't we? Because I guess when you're new to property and stuff, you're like desperate for that first deal, aren't you? Whereas now we're like, every time we go up, down to Somerset, we'll view like 3 or 4 properties. We'll have loads of stuff in the pipeline. We'll be throwing out offers to anything that we like and we want, and lowball and keeping an eye on it. And then stuff just seems to come back around, doesn't it?
If it doesn't go, and you know, your first offer. What's that classic saying that in property? It's not no now. It's no. It's not no never. It's no for now. So no, I didn't make it up. I think I said it wrong, but I didn't make it up. They're like, no. The first time, they're always like, no, it's too low. And I'm like, well, I know it ain't going to sell. So
speak to you soon.
Speak to you in a month's time. And that's always how it happens. Get a message saying, are you still interested? Oh, I might be. But...
So basically that's happened, hasn't it?
And then on the only negative, negative stance, we've had a property in which we're going through legals, which has fell out of bed. We got a severe down valuation, incredibly low as well, and the price in which we were buying was also incredibly low, something that I personally don't feel is right or fair. It's very strange, literally valued at sub 100k, and therefore we had to then increase our cash exposure, either put much more money into the deal, which I wasn't too happy on doing. Or we went back to the vendor and asked if they could meet us halfway or at a reduced price. They said no, which I understand. And I don't want to be that developer who always goes back after you've had price agreed to ask for more money off, because we know there's some snaky tactics out there for people who do that. I think that's way below the bound. It's not something we want to do. But genuinely, we said, look, for this sale to go ahead, we need some money off, and they refused to budge. They said they'd rather remarket it, which is absolutely fine, but we paid for a very expensive valuation. I was half the solicitor fees already in, and then the time and energy spent in dealing with quotes and getting that down the line was a bit of a kick in the teeth, but it's property, you got to roll with it. So we're a few thousand down.
It's good to know not everything goes perfect, doesn't it?
Not everything goes to plan, not everything goes perfectly, but there's still so much greatness around us right now.
It's just frustrating when you put time into it, isn't it?
Yeah, and we are conscious of the fact that what we talk about tends to be our developments, and that's where a huge focus of what we're doing is. But then we've still got our service accommodation management stuff, which is our daily grind.
And we talk about that, like it's just a little sub thing here, but it's
huge.
Yeah. So, moving on to our theme of the...
You forgot.
Theme of the programme?
Topic of the week.
Yeah, but what
theme of the programme.
It's our ongoing theme, our ongoing podcast theme.
Right. Okay.
Is that right?
Save yourself a little bit. I'm still going to say
it's our special. What do you call it on when you're like got a TV programme?
It's just a theme.
Into our feature of the week.
Well,
anyway, it's pest, and topic. I don't know. We sometimes think about these during the weeks as they go on, and I'll make notes in my head, but it might have changed for yours. But my best was, I will not take any credit for this. Our mentor, Mark Winship, who we have bigged up before, gave us some advice a while ago when we had one of our sessions to send an email out to guests and say, look, we really hope you've enjoyed your stay. If you can give us some feedback, that'd be great. However, if you have anything you think we could improve or anything you weren't 100% with, we'd really appreciate if you could email us instead of posting it on a review so we can deal with it. And it worked, and it was really lovely, but it was like the nicest email ever from somebody, and they were just like, really enjoyed the stay, loved the building, loved the property, but there's a couple of things that I think could have improved my stay. And I panicked at this point, like you always do, don't you? Wanting it to be the best, but it was...
Heart drops.
It wasn't anything majorly massive, and everything they'd noted was probably a valid point that we should be doing and something that we could quickly doing. For instance, there's like a grill at the front of the property and there's some rubbish in there. It's not necessarily from us or the guests, it's probably just blown from the street.
The neighbour probably.
But but they kind of said, it looked like an eyesore when you turned up. And it was like, amazing, you know what, we wouldn't think that. The cleaners walk past it every day. It was something we got sorted straight away. They said one of the feet on the shower was a little bit loose, so it was dripping. And they weren't complaining about it, they were just like, we're just making you aware, because obviously, I don't know, maybe they were in the industry or something, but... They were really nice.
Refreshingly nice.
And it was, and I literally replied back, and I was like, I really appreciate this. And then I replied back, and I bullet pointed everything I'd done. I was like, everything you've mentioned, I've actioned. So, and they were really loving that. They were like, it's nice to see that you care. And I was just like, I really appreciate that you've done that. And then they left us they left us, it was on booking.com, so they left us 10 stars for everything, and then left a really nice comment.
Fantastic.
Which is exactly what I want. So that's a tip that we will give out to everybody to do.
Absolutely.
Pest.
Is it something to think of?
No, I don't know unless you've got a new one. I don't know, the guy that couldn't get his key out last night from his lockbox at 4 a.m. was pretty annoying for me. Yeah, basically, our guests checked in, put the rubbish bins out, but the council didn't take it. Next week did the same thing, council didn't take it. We're like, what is going on? Are they putting the wrong bins out? Trying to figure it out. And then we rang the council in the end and we were like, look, why aren't you collecting our rubbish? You've got problems with us. But basically, they'd given us new bins. We didn't know. We'd been delivered, but we hadn't sent the old ones away. So that was quite annoying, wasn't it? Because then the council were like, sorry, you've missed your date to do it. So then we had to pay our clean team to go pick them up. They had to sort through a load of rubbish, and Cornwall's really strict on, which I love actually. So he had to individually go through the bin bags to make sure, bless him, there was no recycling or things in there shouldn't be, cardboard. So he probably took one for the team. Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Shout out, Chris.
But that was a bit frustrating, wasn't it? And it was it just took a long time to figure out.
I feel like a lot of these events that we talk about with our pests of the week, when they're easy to be made as a simple solution, but when there's a lot of back and forth, moving parts, people, getting hold of the council was a nightmare.
We're talking between 4 people, aren't we? The guest, us, the cleaning team and the council.
Our comms team, and the guests, and the guests getting very frustrated, us not trying to decipher why the council weren't taking it for starters, and then, it's just little things like that often take up way too many people's time. It just takes up too much time, that are often fairly regular, but that was a bit of a pain, but I'm glad that we sorted it now.
Yeah.
The council, it's just the council, they're hard to get hold of.
Well,
they're double pests. They're double pests because
I know why you hate them as well.
Tripled our council tax as of next year. And that's extortionate. So,
Don't go to Cornwall.
Bloody council.
So that rolls quite nicely into our topic of the week, which is handling problems, which I thought I wanted to talk about this because I think we deal with so much all the time, and it's interesting probably to other people to hear sometimes how we deal with things and what happens next and what we'd maybe do. And I found that really interesting when I fully started with the business, to be like, well, what would you say? What would you do? How are you handling this? And just, it's a real skill learning how to deal with people.
Managing
and deal with
people's
things
the hardest
quick,
is the art of it, for sure, yeah.
You just don't know who you're going to get, do you? Sometimes
Correct.
we have lovely people who would chill. Sometimes people want it done that second, which just doesn't...
we talk about this on the podcast, don't we? And it's that you could do the same thing twice and the variable be the person that's involved and get 2 incredibly different outcomes. Mm-hmm. So we have to be quite dynamic and fluid depending on what the problem is in in terms of how we maybe not approach the problem, but at least manage the person involved. That's for sure. But the problems that come up are so varied and vast that it's also a bit of a vague statement.
One day I think I'm going to do a video and I'm just going to do every single problem that comes up that day, because it's just mad, isn't it? But it's not very exciting to tell people, is it, sometimes? So a lot of common things we'll get is like keys. I know we've mentioned this before in our podcast, like having a second lockbox or a second place for the guest to access a key is a massive, like, probably weekly there's some kind of key issue, isn't it? A broken,
but
lost,
they're all too quick to just ring you as well.
Yeah.
They're like, the lockbox ain't working, it's not working. Or like, have you lined it up? Like, no, or you get a text and then just 2 minutes later, like, oh, never mind, it's worked. And you're
we
like,
had one yesterday, didn't we?
What were you doing then? Like, just make sure it works before you ring me, please.
It's that service though, isn't it?
Yeah, we have to be.
People expect that service, like, oh, it hasn't worked immediately, there's no one at reception, they panic, they're...
Yeah, we have to be accommodating to these guests, but realistically when they ring us, I hate it.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm offloading all that.
Thanks. I think just having things on hand, isn't it? Boilers, we have a couple of issues with that, don't we? Where we've got good phone contact books now where we can just get people out straight away. I think it's
reliable
very much
people.
how you talk to people. Like, I'm pretty confident if I want something doing, I can get it done that day. Just by being... I am, you just got to be nice to people, haven't you? I'm not going to be like bossy or angry. I'm like, look, mate, please help me. Yeah. And then generally they'll be like, okay, because they can see you're a nice person and you're trying and you're desperate, and they will.
Well, and also
paying them, obviously.
Well, for example, in Liverpool as well, we've got a lot of regular work for these people, so they put us at the top of their list, which is nice, but we didn't have that at the start. But yeah, you are right, it's the way in which you interact with these people, whether it be contractors. Similarly, in return, we need to manage the guests appropriately as well. And one just key obvious tip that I feel like most people don't do is just keep the guests informed of what you're doing behind the scenes to try and solve any issue.
So they know
when someone's come in. Yeah, what to expect, how it can be resolved, and just of any remedial work that needs doing, just keep them informed.
That's a great point, because I think a lot of guests, like, you think it's going to be you that comes out and fixes and doesn't realise there's like 10 things going on behind the scenes. So yeah, it's definitely something we're improving as well, isn't it? Like, we do anyway, but we want them to know more. Like, it's probably better to overfill them with information to show that we are actually.
Yeah, and then ask that they're satisfied and okay with the remedy.
I'm thinking now, just like off the top of my head. So there's a window key last night. I don't know if you saw that on the chat.
I did.
A couple of guests couldn't open their windows. And then there was a window key on the key, but it was snapped. But I don't think that was us. I think maybe the guests might have done that because they were, the little window key to open the little tiny window.
It couldn't have been us. How could it be us?
No, I think it was them. Sorry, did I say us? I think it might have been them.
Right.
So it was on the keys, and there was a lot of silence for like 20 minutes. I was like, oh, it's obviously sorted then. I haven't heard anything from it. And then they were like, send a picture. Oh, no, the key snapped. I was like, it ain't taking you that long to go down. And then we did manage to get someone out there to open the windows for them at 10:30 last night, and they were like, we're in our pajamas. We're like, you told us to come now immediately. We had a shower screen smash, didn't we?
Yep.
At the weekend. That's that's Rodney that we talk about quite a lot. So that's the stag do. That is our one-off. We do tend to always do contractors, and this is why.
Yeah, but I mean, of course we have to deal with the problem, but they paid what,
4.3, I think.
£4,300 for a weekend. So unfortunately, it's a cost we have to soak up, quite literally, because it's a shower.
We took the deposit again. A good thing.
Yeah, we took a deposit, and the deposit we took doesn't cover the damage made, because those are the damage throughout the house. But there is a cost to running the business. So sometimes we have to soak up costs, soak up L's. But realistically, still a very profitable weekend. These things happen.
I think another topic from that topic I was going to roll on is like how we stop them, how we kind of alleviate problems, and that is things like putting the lock boxes in.
Depends what the problems are. There's some things that you just can't plan and manage for.
But it is just having people on tap, having contacts, being quick, reacting fast, being nice to people, having backup plans for things when you know they're like
regular occurrences.
regular issues, like your keys or
Yeah.
anything like, for example, when we've got guidebooks, so before our guests check in, we'll send them all the details of their property, we'll send them Wi-Fi codes, we'll give them details about bins, rubbish collection, things like that. So everything like that you can pre-prepare. And I think we're quite good at, when we do have a problem, looking at that problem if it's something new and being like, right, how has that happened and what can we do to stop that again? Or if it's a reoccurring problem, then we're like, right, we've got an issue here of we track all our
we've got trackers. Yeah, I was about to say
actions
that's a great point. We've
so
got
we know.
maintenance trackers, action trackers, which then in essence form a log as well, which we can try and look for any recurring themes, and then we can put things into practice to try and prevent them from ever happening again. Because one, obviously we don't want issues, but two, the less issues we spend time dealing with, the more time we can spend with it, either with ourselves or developing the business in other ways. So yeah, always looking for growth, even if it's not necessarily getting more properties, even if we're growing in the way in which we manage the existing stock that we have. There's an ever
Learning
constantly. Learning curve.
I've just thought of a good one as well. Remember the washing machine
Which one?
in Somerset? I had some guys in one of our places in Somerset, and they were messaging me like, the washing machine doesn't work. And I was like, look, we normally proper fact find, we're like photos, videos, do everything you can to show us that it doesn't work. It proper wasn't turning on. I was like, the power's gone. I was like, can you check it's actually plugged in? They were like, we've looked, pulled it out, checked. I'm like, all right, I'm liking these people. I was like, definitely turned on and switched. They're like, yeah, it is, the power's gone. So after like 2 days of beating around, because it was a weekend sorting them out, I'd said to them, look, go to a dry cleaning, we'll pay for your laundry if you need it over the weekend. Got somebody out to go and service the washing machine. It literally had a switch on the wall behind a bread bin, and he just turned it on.
Fuse switch. Which
But
again,
he did pull it out, and he was like, I did try it, did trick me for a bit, and then I thought, I'm just going to check for an actual plug. But the guys were very nice about it. They never sent us a laundrette bill, because they obviously realised they were at some fault there. And that's a massive thing for us, fact finding, isn't it? Like, that's annoying for us if we paid for that call out charge. So that's why we'll always get pictures, get videos, have as much information as we can to try and actually, like, I'll Google a lot of problems if it's ever Wi-Fi or anything. I'll be like, how is this happening? And then I'll try and go through the phone and tell them what to do to reset it. Or
yeah, I don't want to say it, but often people are either stupid, or a big one that we come across is cultural differences. People abroad, I always say this, don't I? Remember that one time, it was like midnight, so, guests saying, the tap's broke, it's not working, in very broken English. And I was like, oh no, what's going on? So we video called him, and he couldn't figure out, just with a tap, he'd obviously never seen it before, that he just had to lift it up. And there's been a few instances where they just don't know, because it's not normal for where they come from to do things in that way, like it is over here in the UK. So that's sometimes an issue. But initially, they a lot of people think stuff's broken, when realistically we can troubleshoot it.
Yeah.
So we always ask for
a
bit more detail, fact find. One, because we save the cost on paying someone to go out and actually having to solve an issue, and it's not an issue. But two, we can get it fixed for them there and then quite quick. So yeah, fact finding is a big part of what we do, and the first thing we do. Pictures and videos, in order to then go and decide the right appropriate course of action as well. It helps, doesn't it?
Which is me crying at my desk, ringing the washing machine and maintenance guy to go and turn the switch on.
Yeah. Alright guys.
But yeah, I think that's everything. We'll wrap that up for now. When we speak to you next, we'll have 42 new properties, 69 new management companies. I'll have grey hair, Ed's teeth will have fallen out. That's all good.
Perfect.
Enjoy
Thank you
your
very much
week.
for listening, guys, and thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned. There'll be more of these coming. If you do want to listen to the previous 14 episodes, then they're on Spotify, Apple, whatever it is, everything all out there.